At the moment, many people are unsatisfied with Barcelona. They're only third in La Liga, they're not really convincing in the Champions League, and in too many games they fail to deliver the kind of performances that are expected from a team like Barcelona. When Xavi first arrived as a coach, he was expected to lead the team back to the very top. By winning La Liga last season, he made a big step in the right direction. But with the way that Barcelona has been playing in the first months of this season, an inevitable question comes to the mind of a lot of Barca fans. Have Barcelona actually improved compared to last season? Are we actually seeing Barcelona settle at the level that they're now at? Are Barcelona becoming the Catalan Manchester United? Well, that is what we'll discuss in this video, so let's just get right to it. Have Barcelona actually become worse compared to 1 year ago? First of all, if we're talking about the defense, it seems they have. They only conceded 0.5 goals per game in La Liga last season, while it has been 1 goal per game in the current La Liga campaign. One of the explanations for that sudden change is that Xavi has been playing with Joao Cancelo instead of Koundé or Araujo as a right back. Even though Joao Cancelo is an amazing fullback who adds tons of creativity to your team in the build-up, he just doesn't guarantee you the same defensive solidity as Koundé or Araujo. He will move into midfield quite often and leave more space in behind them, and he's simply not as good at defending as someone like Ronald Araujo, who barely ever gets dribbled past. That change in Xavi's system has made Barcelona more vulnerable in defense, but Xavi does still have the choice to revert to his defensive backline of last season. So in the end, Barcelona's defense hasn't really become worse than 1 year ago. There is more to Barcelona's current struggling than the defense though. In midfield this season, it has often seemed as if there was a lack of structure, as if the players were uncertain about what their actual duties were. This midfield has just not been the engine that it's supposed to be. There are multiple reasons for that. First of all, replacing Sergio Busquets is far from easy. I would even go as far as saying it's basically impossible. There is no single pivot in Barcelona's current squad who has the ability to intercept balls, to resist the opponent's press, to read the game and to dictate the tempo like Busquets did. Oriol Romeu is the only natural single pivot, but he needs too much time to handle at the very highest intensity. Xavi's best solution might be a double pivot, where a defensively solid player like Gavi can be coupled with a deep creator like Frenkie de Jong. That is a tactic that could actually cure a lot of Barcelona's current problems. Only the problem is, you need some time for that kind of system to really start functioning. Players like Gavi in this case need to gain experience in a new role to be able to truly thrive in it. And another problem is that Frenkie de Jong has simply been injured for weeks now. Last season, as well as at the start of this season, Frenkie de Jong was the metronome in Barcelona's midfield. He has often gained criticism for lacking positional discipline. He tends to roam wherever his intuition leads him, and he'll never just stick to one position. That problem gets massively overshadowed by what he adds to the team though. He is everywhere in the build-up. He's press resistance. He's arguably Barcelona's best passer. With him, you will always be able to build up out from the back under pressure and to have fluent ball circulation. The fact that he lacks positional discipline isn't that big of a problem either if Barcelona play in a double pivot, and if Gavi can make sure Barcelona win the ball back and don't get torn open on counterattacks. Frenkie de Jong's injury is one of the big reasons why Barcelona haven't been fluent in a lot of games lately. Once he's back, it's guaranteed that they will look more like the Barcelona of 1 year ago again in midfield. If you want to tell me that injuries aren't an excuse, you're definitely right. They're not an excuse, but if Messi was injured back when he played for Barcelona, wouldn't everyone then admit that it was just logical that Barcelona performed worse without him? Frenkie de Jong might not be Messi, but his impact on the team is that big that you might want to accept that Barcelona are just not as good without him. In attack, Barcelona have changed a lot compared to last season as well, but have they actually improved? Well, different stats suggest that Barcelona's attack is just as good as that of 1 year ago. With 2 goals per game in La Liga, 3.4 big chances per game, and 2 missed big chances per game, Barca's current stats closely resemble those of last season. Lewandowski might not be as in form right now as he was when he first arrived at Barcelona though. Back in his first ever games for Barcelona, the Polish striker immediately delivered. After the World Cup, we've never really seen him at his best anymore. He is probably just becoming older and losing some of his energy, yet he is still Robert Lewandowski. He might have a few bad performances, but there will always be a moment in the near future where he will silence his haters. Currently, he is still a world-class striker. Barcelona just have to make sure to replace him soon enough. The young Brazilian striker Vitor Roque, who is likely to arrive in January, was signed for that exact purpose. Apart from Lewandowski, we do have to admit that losing Ousmane Dembélé has had its consequences. Barcelona don't have a pure world-class dribbler anymore. Dembélé might have been inconsistent and bad at finishing, but he did always pose a threat to any defense, and Barcelona have now simply lost that threat. Lamine Yamal is actually a perfect replacement for Dembélé, but he's just too young to be a regular starter. That's why, in general, there is less danger coming from the right side than last season. With Joao Felix, who's Barcelona's creator, on the left right now, Barcelona's main threat is just coming from the other side and from a different type of player. João Felix has added a lot of creativity and danger to the attack. He has definitely proved to be a good signing thus far. So in general, Barcelona's attack is just as good as 1 year ago. The structure and the set of players is just different. That leads us to the conclusion. Are Barcelona worse than 1 year ago? Well, not really. Different circumstances like the defense that's become more leaky, the problem of replacing Busquets, the absence of Frenkie de Jong, and the new attacking dynamics have just caused Barcelona to lack a clear structure in their way of playing. Their build-up and their attacking patterns haven't been at the level that fans expect up till now. But does that mean that Barcelona are stagnating, or that they're becoming the new Man United? A lot of these problems will just be solved with the chemistry of the team becoming better, and with players like Lamine Yamal who will become more and more important. Very soon, we will probably be looking at a Barcelona that most people consider better than the team that won La Liga last season. That was it for today's video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and feel free to share your own opinion in the comments down below. Thanks for the support, Força Barça, and have a good day.